What's good, Steeler Nation? My name is Jack Sperry, and this is Steelers Talk. Today, we're going to be talking all about Kenny Pickett. We're going to be going over some of the comments from last week's poll question that asked if he could be a superstar. My thoughts on Kenny Pickett today. I'm going to be revealing my complete thoughts, how I feel about Kenny Pickett moving forward. And then also, Big Ben had some comments on Kenny Pickett earlier in the week, some really intriguing stuff there. And then I'm going to be breaking down why I think Kenny Pickett can succeed as the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward. So stick around to the end to hear my reasoning for that. But before we get into anything else, we are currently in a like battle with Ravens Rundown, the Chat Sports Ravens channel here. And I mean, we're doing a great job, guys. We're in great shape right now. About 60 subs above what the Ravens Rundown has right now, which is great. But at the end of the day, this is a really easy situation where we can get complacent and they can rally towards the end. I don't want that to happen, guys. I want to bury these guys. I want to embarrass Tyler Jones, the host of Ravens Rundown, and the entire Ravens fan base this week by just showing them who owns the AFC North. Okay, so if you are a Steelers fan and you're new here, all right, you love the black and gold, you hate the Baltimore Ravens, go subscribe to the channel right now and help us win our sub battle this week. All right, let's get into some poll results from last week's poll, which asked, what are Kenny Pickett's chances of becoming a superstar in the National Football League? And guys, I was a bit surprised by the answers here. Almost 20% of you say that it's highly likely, like 90+% chance that Kenny Pickett's going to become a superstar in this league. Another 30% said it's likely. 38 said somewhat likely, and then a very small percentage said not likely or no chance whatsoever. So it was really interesting to break this down and go over the comments. Here are the top 3 comments from this poll. The first one comes from Lucas Lemaster, who said, Kenny has all the intangibles, good mobility, accuracy, etc. Our terrible offense hurt his confidence a bit, but he's shown he could really be good. So he's definitely on the positive Pickett side of this poll. Let's go to the next comment here, where Braden Riot asked, too early to say. I don't think he has any crazy game-breaking ability, but he's smart and mobile with an accurate arm. And if we ever get an offensive coordinator to give us some help, he could potentially be really good. I certainly agree with that offensive coordinator part, Braden. And then finally, we've got Temo, or however you say this here, but he says, being as objective as possible, he has little to no chance of being a superstar. He doesn't have any physical talent, doesn't have a strong arm. He's not flashy. He has intangibles, but it will only take him so far. Unless he develops a rocket arm or elite shiftiness / speed, he'll never be a superstar, which to me is a very elite class. To be honest, he'll be lucky to make a Pro Bowl in his career. Not hating, just being an objective Steelers fan. Thank you guys, every single one of you out there that commented and voted on this week's poll. And I really thought that the answers this week were interesting. So coming up, I'm going to be giving my thoughts on this question. Is Kenny Pickett going to be a superstar in the National Football League? What are his chances? And speaking of chances and odds, let's have a word from our sponsor at BetUS, which is the sportsbook partner here at Chat Sports. If you use promo code Steelers125 at our link, chatsports.com/bet, they're offering you guys a 125% deposit bonus. So if you put a deposit in from $100 to $600, they're gonna put 125% of that money that you put in back to use on your bet. So it's essentially like if you were at a pizza place, you get a pizza, they give you an entire pizza and a quarter pizza absolutely for free. So it's a fantastic deal if you love sports betting. And why not use it on the Steelers this week when they play the Bengals? I think it's a fantastic bet. The Bengals are favored by 4.5. I think the Steelers are going to win outright. So that's my bet of the week. I'm going to be putting my money on the Steelers. I'm super excited to see how Kenny Pickett does, how Minkah Fitzpatrick, who looks like he could be playing this weekend, does, how TJ Watt and that pass rush does. I'm really excited about this game, guys. I would be betting heavy on the Steelers. So at the end of the day, guys, go to our link here, chatsports.com/bet, and use promo code 125 to get that 125% deposit bonus. All right, guys, let's get into my thoughts on Kenny Pickett. We're going to go into a complete rundown here of my thoughts on Kenny Pickett, what he is right now, what he could be in the future. So let's take a look at some of the things that people are saying to kind of defend Kenny Pickett, because he hasn't exactly lit up the world so far this season. The first thing he says, and it's a completely valid point, is that he's a rookie. Like, my personal philosophy is I try not to overly criticize or, determine whether a quarterback is going to pan out in the future based on his rookie season. I think there's so much that a rookie quarterback has to deal with. I think you need to give them a full offseason with their guys, with their team, to really figure out, by year 2 or by year 3, if they are the guy and if they're going to pan out in the National Football League. So this point is 100% relevant. And then Matt Canada sucks. I mean, you guys know how I feel about the Canadian. He is one of the worst offensive coordinators in the National Football League. Last week, I actually thought he called a pretty good game, but I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him gone whatsoever, and his offense has certainly done Kenny Pickett no favors. And then the last one is the O-line sucks, and this is one of the ones that I kind of disagree with. I actually think the Steelers' offensive line, at least from a pass blocking perspective, is underrated. Right now, Football Outsiders, which is a sports analytics company, they do this thing called adjusted sack rate, which pretty much gives them a percentage of the amount of times that a quarterback gets sacked or a team gives up a sack because of the offensive line and not because of the quarterback or because of defensive coverage. And the Steelers are 16th in this category at 7.2%, which is league average. So from a pure pass blocking perspective, the Steelers are league average right now. And if Kenny Pickett, I'm tired of hearing that Kenny Pickett just is not very good because of the offensive line not protecting him. He does have time in the pocket. It's at a league average level. He doesn't have all day back there. It's not like the Eagles offensive line or anything like that, but it's not awful. It's not terrible play after play after play like people want to make it seem. A lot of the sacks right now, the Steelers are 27th in the league in total sacks allowed at 27 right now. And right now with the adjusted sack rate being at 16th, that's telling me that Kenny Pickett and Mitchell Trubisky throughout the season have been responsible for a lot of sacks because they're holding the ball for too long and it's ending up in sacks. And then people look at the sack number and they're like, the offensive line sucks. But in reality, it's the quarterbacks that are holding the ball for too long. I think the offensive line is better than people think, but let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is the Steelers' offensive line underrated? Type Y for yes or type N for no. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So whenever there's an ad break, just go right down there and type Y for yes or type N for no. For me, this is definitely a yes. People treat the Steelers' offensive line like it's one of the worst in the National Football League, but I actually think they're underrated. I think they're about league average. All right, guys, let's get into the next section here where Pickett has issues that are hard to fix, in my opinion. So like I said before, I don't like to, determine what I think of a quarterback in the NFL until the end of his first season. So I'm going to give Pickett the benefit of the doubt and wait till the end of the season here and wait till he has a full offseason with his guys and with the team and all that to really determine if he's going to be the guy. But he has things in his game that are really tough to coach out of players. The first one is his physical limitations. He just has an average arm, guys. At the end of the day, it's not a Josh Allen, a Trevor Lawrence, a Zach Wilson, or Justin Fields, or any of these guys that have absolute cannons. Mahomes is another guy. He's not one of these guys that's a fantastic athlete like Fields or Jackson that is a really dynamic runner. He's athletic and he can run. He's a plus runner in the run game, but he's not a dynamic guy that you're going to design a run game around. And then he also hates pressure. This is really a tough one to coach out of players because it's really an instinctual kind of thing where it's how you play football. And if you're afraid of pressure, I mean, I don't care how much you drill it into a quarterback, they're never going to like it. So this is one of those things that if you don't like pressure and you're standing way far behind the line of scrimmage like Kenny Pickett does, throwing off your back foot like Kenny Pickett does all the time because he's just straight up afraid to step up in the pocket. He did a better job last week at this, but at the end of the day, it's still not where it needs to be. And I mean, he needs to get over his fear of NFL pressure if he wants to make it in the National Football League. And then finally, downfield decision making. Okay, this was one of the big things coming out of college with him that I was really worried about is that anything below 20 yards for a throw, he was really accurate. He could make good decisions, but anything deep, he had a hard time locating safeties. He threw it into double coverage a lot. And last game against the Saints, there was a wide open crosser. There was double crossers, and DJ and Pat Freiermuth were running double crossers deep down the field. And DJ comes wide open. Like, he breaks wide open. And then Pat Freiermuth is double covered, and KP throws it to Freiermuth, who's double covered. I mean, come on, man. You need to be able to see those downfield routes. And this is really tough to teach because it's down the field. It's a vision issue. It's not really something that can be taught. So at the end of the day, those are the long-term concerns, and they're tough to teach out of somebody. And right now, Pickett needs everything to be perfect. I mean, when I watch his film, when everything's good, right, if there's no pressure in his face, his pre-snap read is correct, and his first read is open, then he can be pretty accurate. He can do a pretty good job in the pocket. But, you know, in the NFL, things aren't perfect. Things get messy, and you have to be able to maneuver those kind of messy situations. And right now, Pickett's just not doing a very good job of that. If you don't believe me and you want some proof, go to my Twitter right now at Jack_Sperry. Yesterday, I put out a bunch of tweets regarding Kenny Pickett, breaking down his performance against the Saints. And the thing about me, guys, is I don't just show you the good and I don't just show you the bad. I show you both the good and the bad, and I give you the full perspective of what happened in the game. So if that's something that interests you, you want to learn more about football and Kenny Pickett, go follow me at Jack_Sperry. And speaking of follows, okay, guys, here are the guys that followed me this week on Twitter. Thank you guys so much. Jaden Green, James24, appreciate you, man. Nixon Carson, appreciate it, dude. Jay and a bunch of numbers there. Thank you for the follow. Tyrone, love you, dude. Charlie Romanius, I think is how you say it. Thank you so much, my guy. Tom Schrader, 18. Love it, dude. Love the picture. Chris Ballast, 271. The Mighty D, Dustin Petts. Thank you so much for the follow, my dude. Mark Ritchie. Connor Dreher, and then Jeff. Thank you guys so much for the follow. Go follow me on Twitter right now if you are interested in Kenny Pickett film analysis at Jack_Sperry. All right, now let's get into the Big Ben comments this week, where he went on the Footballers podcast, very popular podcast, and he was very critical of Kenny Pickett as well. He said the first play of the game, he had Deontay Johnson for a 75-yard touchdown. Deontay Johnson on the right side, he had the go ball, and he tried to hit Pat on the crosser. If he hits that, he completes that, all of a sudden we're not talking about running the ball, we're talking about taking shots down the field. And at the end of the day, guys, Ben was really critical of Kenny Pickett. But the thing that I want to point out here is that he's not being critical to be mean or to be a hater. Like, he's one of the mentors to Kenny Pickett. He's in his corner. But being a former quarterback, being someone that knows the game in the position, he can look at a play and criticize somebody for doing something wrong, and that doesn't make him a hater. That doesn't mean that he hates Kenny Pickett or that he doesn't want him to succeed. It's just he's just being objective about it in his criticism. And that's something I really respect about Big Ben. And at the end of the day, I'm in the same boat, all right? I'm not rooting for Kenny Pickett to be bad or to be a bust. In fact, I would love nothing more for him to have success as a Pittsburgh Steeler, and I am in his corner. I want nothing but the best for him. But when I criticize him, I want you guys to know that it's just me being objective. I'm going to tell you guys the truth all the time. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth. That's what we do here on Steelers Talk. We keep it real. Now that I've given you the things that I don't like about Pickett, let me tell you about the stuff that I actually do like about him. I love his mentality, man. He's a dog. He is a gamer. He works really, really hard. He's a great leader. He's one of the more likable quarterbacks in the National Football League, and he's somebody that the city of Pittsburgh just rallies behind, and that's something that I really like about him. Something I really like in a franchise quarterback. And then he's generally pretty accurate on passes that aren't deep down the field. When it gets past 20 yards, it can get a little bit ugly, guys. But if it's under 20 yards and he's in rhythm, he's pretty darn accurate. And then good initial pocket footwork. So when he does a really great job dropping back, and then when he's at the back of his drop, he does a really great job keeping his base, staying lined up to his receiver, and delivering a strike. And then he's a good playmaker outside the pocket. Maybe not a great playmaker like a Mahomes or a Rodgers, but he's good enough. He gets outside there, and he made a really nice play against the Saints, actually. And I really, really like that part of his game as well. Now, here's the fixable stuff, guys. I showed you guys what's really difficult to fix. This is the stuff that I think can actually improve over the next couple of years. His mental processing, just getting more reps in NFL life, just understanding how fast NFL defenses are, rotating coverages, seeing all these exotic looks. Experience is going to help his mental processing big time. Hopefully that develops here over the next couple of years. And then downfield accuracy. throwing mechanics can always be improved. That can always be something that can be coached and built up over the years. So hopefully his accuracy to the deep part of the field improves, because it's going to need to if he wants to have success in this league and avoid the blitz. And then a new offensive coordinator, somebody that actually plays to the strengths of Kenny Pickett, somebody from like the Shanahan tree or the McVay tree, somebody in this new school, third-generation West Coast offense that can, I think, really use Kenny Pickett's ability to get outside the pocket on naked bootlegs and just get him on the move. I'm really excited to see what a new offensive coordinator with Kenny Pickett can do. And I mean, you look at a guy like Tua, a new offensive coordinator, a new offensive mind can mean a world's difference. All right, guys, my final thoughts here is that Kenny Pickett is probably not going to be a superstar. He's a distributor. All right, he's not a gunslinger. He's not throw it deep every play like Big Ben Roethlisberger is, and the type of quarterback that Pittsburgh Steelers fans are used to. He's somebody that's not going to be a superstar. He's going to be more of a game manager that, makes a play every once in a while, can get outside the pocket, find the right guys, be accurate, and just kind of manage the game. And you can win with a guy like that. You really, really can. If you have a good running game, a great defense like the Steelers have, a great head coach, Kenny Pickett can find success and be a winner in Pittsburgh. I really believe that. He's got a great work ethic, a great head on his shoulders. He's a great kid, obviously. He's got a little bit of talent and ability. He just needs to cultivate it over the next couple weeks and months. And, he's got a shot. Now, I don't think he's going to be a mega talent like a Mahomes or a Rodgers, but I do have positive feelings about him moving forward. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's show. Where are my real ones at? Identify yourselves in the comment section right now by typing "Here we go" in all caps to let me know that you were here and made it to the end of the video. I appreciate all the real ones out there that made it to the end of the video. And until next time, guys, peace.